Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tarda Zone Talks here on the Tarda Zone. How is everybody feeling today? It's been obviously a day since we got that announcement yesterday, and needless to say, things are panning out exactly the way I said they would pan out. But very interestingly, is to see the media, some right wing media outlets showing their true racism. I have to say, I'm seeing it firsthand, and it's absolutely disgusting. They're trying to push this narrative that the only reason why this guy was picked was because of his skin color, which is absolutely rubbish. RTD, listen, for anybody that knows RTD, right? And we've seen the Jordan's first era, right? He will always cast the best person that he has in mind for the role. So he'll go through an audition phase. Now, there was a couple of people he wanted before he settled on Christopher Eccleston. We all know that. We all know that Hugh Grant as well was one of the choices that he had at the time, right? But he went with Christopher Eccleston. But look at Christopher Eccleston, he was great. And look at the other choices that he would have had, were great, right? Now, Matt Smith is a perfect example, because I've seen a lot of excuses, and I'm going to very quickly dispel them in the first few minutes of this, and then we'll get into the article, right? First of all, they're saying he's a checkbox, right? He's a tick box, okay? And this is the mistake some of them are making. They should hire him based on talent, right? I would suggest that people Google his name and Google the awards that he has won. David Tennant, Matt Smith, Jodie Whittaker combined, he has more awards than those three put together. Right? Now, like Matt Smith was last to audition for Stephen Moffat. Right? Moffat had already got his doctor in mind before Matt Smith had walked into the room. And according to RTD, the same thing happened here. He already had someone in mind until this guy came in, just like Matt Smith did, and blew them away. So to say that this doctor has not been cast based on talent, that argument has already been dispelled. He has won multiple awards. You should check out his awards, for God's sake. He's got awards coming out of his ears. This is a good thing. Means he's a high quality caliber of actor, right? That we have got now in Doctor Who, right? We have complained for the last 5 years that the acting and the lead in the current era hasn't been good enough. Now we finally have someone who actually has some acting chops. But people already want to jump the gun and say that this is a woke decision, it's a political decision, but nobody knows anything, including me. Nobody knows which way it's going to go. And my whole point yesterday on my live stream was to say to people, let's all take a chill pill, count to 10, take a step back, and let's see what happens over the next couple of months. And then obviously then when the show comes on air, then we'll be able to judge firsthand if these people that are saying that it's a checkbox were right. Okay? But there is a possibility, and I just want to throw that out there, there is a possibility that those people are wrong. Right? Now, if we look at the way RTD has talked about the doctor, even when Jodie Whittaker was in the role, if you go to BBC's writer's room, the YouTube channel there. He's talking about the doctor in either 2017 or 2018 or something, maybe a little bit later. And he's referring to the doctor as a man. Still as a man. He cast the bloke. We got a male doctor. And now the problem seems to be from a few out there. His skin colour seems to be an issue. And I'm not going to shy away from it. This channel has never shied away from this stuff, right? And I'm going to talk about it because it needs to be spoken about. Nobody knows what's going to happen yet. We are 18 months away from finding out. Right? That's a long time. Okay? He's probably going to feature in the 60th now. Looks like a shoe-in if they're filming in June. It looks like he is going to be in the 60th. Maybe the reason why, it's not just because the media were going to leak it, but maybe the reason why they made the announcement, why they made the announcement, because he's going to be there. He's going to be there while they're filming. Now, apparently the costume's already being picked and stuff because he can't talk about the costume, he was saying. So all the decisions have been made. So now we just have to wait because, as the BBC press release said, we've got to wait now because he's going to draw it out a bit because Jodie Whittaker obviously does have one more episode. You know what I mean? And to be quite honest, for us, we don't care if it overshadows the last episode because we're not looking forward to it, right? But at the end of the day, there is still 2 million of these fans that do like this era. And it's not fair on them, no matter what we say, right? It isn't, right? If it happened to us, a doctor that we liked, we'd be complaining, right? So they're probably complaining right now because all of this is happening because it draws attention away from Jodie Whittaker's last episode. So they'll draw it out just to be fair and balanced. And then after that centenary, just everything's going to be warp speed ahead, as they say in the Trek universe. Right? But at the end of the day, we've got to wait and see and be patient here. Right? I know they're doing, look, I know we're in a society and in an era now where everything is politicized. I'm not going to deny that. Right? But this is RTD and he got it right before. Right? And we got to trust his thinking and his processes. Right? And if we're willing to give him a chance, like we said, right? We said no matter who RTD was going to cast, we were going to give him a go. And I'm sticking to that. I'm going to give him a go. Right? And I'm actually delighted that we've got a male doctor again. Right? I don't see the colour of his skin a fucking issue here. But it seems to be an issue with some people out there. And I'm going to call it out. Right? I'm not calling you racist or anything. I'm not going to go that far. Not yet, until the evidence proves otherwise. But right now, I can understand why he's a skeptical, right? Because of the last 5 years, especially, right? Okay, you get that little bit of breathing room because of the last 5 years, yeah. But you have to wait and see what happens first. If you are proven right, Well done, pat on the back. But this could be the time that you are wrong, right? Because unlike Disney and Star Trek and all of this, when they do all of this nonsense and Batwoman and all of this is different. RTD would not be casting based on politics. I don't care what anybody says, right? His 2 doctors before that proved it. Right? So I trust his decision. And another thing as well, I'm just going to say, right? Obviously, RTD has views that some of you don't agree with, right? But here's the thing, right? I'm on Twitter. There's a lot of things that Seth MacFarlane says on Twitter that I don't agree with, right? And if everybody just judge the person on their political beliefs, then we wouldn't be watching any TV show. Where everybody watches the Orville and puts his political beliefs to one side and actually watch the show that he's created and it's become a popular thing. Same thing with RTD. Now, I know RTD has already said things to upset people, right? And he said something about don't vote Tory or something like that, and he's getting his political stuff out there. That's fair enough, right? I can understand it to a degree. But if we're going to think like that and say, right, well, I'm not watching Doctor Who, I'm a bit skeptical because he said that, well, then we wouldn't be watching shows like The Orville, as I said. And if we start thinking that way, then we wouldn't be watching Doctor Who. We've got to give him a chance. We've seen over 4 seasons and the specials that he can do it, that he can write Doctor Who. And if he does address an issue, he always gives a balanced view of it. And that's all we've ever wanted. So, look, all I'm just saying to people is, he's got to chill and wait and see what happens first. Because, you know, focusing on his skin colour is not a good look. I just have to say that. It's not. And I've already seen people try to compare the Jodie Whittaker thing with this casting. Right? Jodie Whittaker was a totally different situation altogether. And I'll tell you why it was a total different situation altogether. Right? All the doctors were male before she came along. And then when they changed the gender of the doctor, they never explained it. They just said, right, the doctor's female, let's get on with it. And then when she was cast, I read out her first statement compared to Ncuti's statement, right? And there's a stark difference. Huge difference. Hers was full of political antidotes and all of that. His was, you know, that he was scared, but he realised it was huge responsibility and all of that other stuff. He said all the right things in his statement. Right? Now, Ncuti's a man, and the doctor's been a man for 50 odd years. So I don't see a problem here. Right? And he is an alien. So, you know, I don't see a problem. To me, skin colour hasn't even come into it because I've already told you it was my choice of doctor months ago on this channel. Even last year, I've been for the last few years. Richard Ayoade was a choice of mine. He was up there with Michael Sheen as far as I was concerned. Because he wears mad suits anyway, this guy. And he just looks like the doctor. So that's who I wanted. The skin colour is never an issue for me. I just look at another thing as well. I'm going to be obviously over these next couple of months getting to know what this guy is all about, right? Cheryl has decided that she's just going to go in and not bother looking at any of these other shows because she wants to go in with a clean slate and she wants to enjoy the show, right? Just like she tried to do with Jodie Whittaker, but she checked out. That's what she said to me, right? I'm going to go in Tuesday anyway because I said I can't wait for RTD2. So I'm already excited, but I will go and check out his work. I have seen, like everybody else, a couple of the YouTube videos, but to really get an understanding of this guy's acting talent, you have to go and watch his shows. So that's what I'm going to do. Even if they're shows that I wouldn't be normally into, I'm going to watch them. Right? Because I watched Jodie Whittaker and Broadchurch Attack the Block when she was in that movie. And obviously she was in what was it? It's Black Mirror, isn't it? Yeah. Right. So like I've watched Jodie, so I'll watch him, see what he's like. Have to say, for what I've seen, he's impressed me. So anyway, let's get into what we're really here for. I just wanted to get that all off my chest because we can't have another cycle like we did the last time, right? Now, I remember originally we gave our opinions on the casting of Jodie Whittaker, and we were attacked for it straight away, right? This is why I'm not going to come out and say there is some blatant racists out there that I've seen, right? And I'm not going to shy away from it. I've seen it firsthand on Twitter, right? But for the fans that are skeptical, right? It's not that they get a free pass. It's not a free pass here, right? Because they're not. Because I can genuinely understand why some of them feel and are suspicious, right? I can because of the last 5 years, especially, right? But I mean, we've got to wait and see what happens, and that's all I'm saying. Just wait and see what happens, right? Because there could be a chance if he has the CV that he has, and he's won and being nominated for the amount of awards that he has, and you should check it out. It's very impressive, right? I'm not worried about his acting ability here. The thing now that I'm focused on, right? Here's the thing. I already know he's gonna be he's a good actor, right? Because he's got the CV behind him, right? So I'll give him a chance to put his own stamp on the role. But right now the focus is on RTD. And he's writing now, because we don't have to focus on the doctor now. So can RTD now live up to expectations? His writing now, the focus will be on his writing. The choice is being made. We got a male doctor. So now the focus is going to be on his writing. And I have to say, a couple of the doctors, and that brings me into the nice little segue here. The article's in the link description. I'm not going to read the whole article, but two former doctors so far. I haven't seen any of the other doctors. I'm pretty sure the rest of them have, and I'm pretty sure Miss Whittaker has probably put something out there. I know she's not, as far as I know, she's not on social media. So, but it will be interesting to see what Whittaker has to say about it. But Matt Smith and Sylvester McCoy congratulate Ncuti Gatwa on Doctor Who role. Reception has been warm towards the inspired casting. I have to say, that's the thing that I've noticed. There's a difference here. Jodie Whittaker's casting fractured her fan base straight away. And you had one side shouting at the other side, being sexist and all of that, and the fandom got very toxic. But this announcement has had a different feel to it, right? Now, while there are some right-wing media trying to stoke the fire right now, I think the majority of fans have kind of, are waiting to see what happens first before they judge. I think, people haven't just jumped into it. See, the difference is his statement has made a huge difference. I mean, the rhetoric around Whittaker when she took over the role, and then when Chibnall contradicted himself, and he said that he had auditioned other people, he auditioned men and women, and then he does in another interview where he says, well, he told the BBC he would take the job if he could cast a woman. So he contradicted himself there, and the rhetoric around her casting and the breaking of the glass ceiling and that stylist video and don't fear me gender and the white male gaze and all of this, the hostility, was created, and the media didn't help either. They stoked the fire, and we showed you some of the articles that they put out. Absolutely disgusting. But it feels different this time. You know, as I said, there are a few skeptical fans out there right now, and that's understandable, right? But you know, you just have to wait and see what happens first. You can't automatically think that every decision or every casting is a political reason behind it. I know it's hard because we've been framed that way for the last 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 years. But the difference is that, you know, things are starting to change. We've seen it in Hollywood. Things are slowly changing. Look at this. I don't believe RTD would cast based on a political decision or check boxing or tick boxing as being what's being said. I don't because he's. You look at what he's done in the past. I mean, I didn't think David Tennant would make a very good doctor. I was literally pissed when he took over from Christopher Eccleston. Right? I was gutted Christopher Eccleston left. I couldn't believe how good he was as the doctor. And when he left and when he regenerated, I was literally gutted. I hated David Tennant's first scene in Doctor Who. I really did. Same with Matt Smith. I didn't really like his entrance either. I was actually good when David Tennant did it. David Tennant did annoy me near the end. Obviously, his speech, "Oh, I don't want to go," and all this rubbish, right? If they had left that out, his doctor bleeding, his doctor was great. I'm not gonna deny it. Right? That's why he wins as many polls as Tom Baker does. Right? He is one of the most popular New Who, if not the most popular New Who doctor. So I've no worries that RTD picked the best person for the role. That's why I'm comfortable about, and that's why I could sit back and let's see what happens. That's the attitude I have. Anyway, former Doctor Who stands, sorry, former Doctor Who stars have extended their well wishes to sex education's Ncuti Gatwa, who has been confirmed as taking over the lead role on the show. Ever since the news broke that Jodie Whittaker's 13th Doctor would be regenerating in the upcoming BBC Centenary special, fans have been avidly speculating as who will be piloting the TARDIS next. So yeah, then they talk about So among the widely touted names were members of the It's a Sin cast, the previous project that returning showrunner RTD worked on, meaning Ncuti's announcement came out of the blue, but Whovians are thrilled. Speaking at Paris Fan Festival over the weekend, Matt Smith gave his verdict on the announcement, revealing he is firmly in favour of this new era of Doctor Who. Well, he didn't like the current era of this Doctor Who. There is that famous video of him and Billy Piper saying, "What's Doctor Who doing on New Year's Day?" I don't know if you've seen him in Sex Education. There's a warmth and wit and a real depth to his talent that I think, honestly, honestly, yeah, I think it's an inspired bit of casting, and I'm really, really excited for the show. That was Matt Smith. So Matt Smith is over the moon, and then we got on social media. The seventh Doctor, Sylvester McCoy, who said the following: "Welcome, Ncuti, and especially delighted to welcome another Scot." And he is the fourth Scottish actor to play the Doctor, as yet. No. Georgia Tennant, I think, wrote up the wittiest one of all, because you know she's got this wicked sense of humor. That's why I actually loved. I loved Staged, and she got a bit more in Stage 2 to do, which, and she produces as well. You know that we missed the opportunity with Georgia for the Jenny Adventures on TV. Maybe now is the right time. But Georgia put up the best one, and she wrote "Hello, Dad," which is her all over. I have to say, if you follow her on Instagram or on Twitter, you'll see that she's very funny like that. So yeah, that's the article. But as I was coming on, I saw something else. So you will remember that, we've been talking on this channel for months now, and we were talking about the fact that RTD likes to put out some false information. Well, literally, this just was thrown up by the Radio Times before it came on at 3 o'clock. This article dropped, right? And this is something we've been talking about on this channel for months, right? Russell T. Davies confirmed he planted Doctor Who red herrings. What did we literally say on this channel, folks? What did we say? That he likes to throw stuff out there, even if it's not true. And he likes to put stuff out there among his staff to see who the leaks are. Right? So as I said, anybody claiming that they have leaks inside Bad Wolf, he was putting out false information. See all those so-called leaks now? They're gone. Bye-bye. So nobody, as I said, man, don't be listening to people out there. Right, there'll be a lot of speculation out there, and this is smart fans putting things together and coming up with stuff and then framing it as a possible leak. Right, there is no leaks inside Bad Wolf. All right, that's what I'm saying. He listen, man. This fella is clever. Jordan's first run, I think there were. I think Jordan, the first couple of seasons, there were major leaks released, and he was pissed, right? And ever since then, he tightened up ship and he found ways of exposing the leaks, and then he controlled it himself, Marty, by putting out those red herrings, and that's exactly what he's done again. Because he wants to keep everything. Like, I mean, look at the YouTubers that are putting out information. As I said, most of them are from 4chan and all of this. But how many of them have actually come true? None. Right? It's pieces of information put together. This is fans trying to figure out stuff for themselves. There's no way that they're getting leaks from Bad Wolf. He's the general, man. He controls everything there, right? He's had leaks in the past during his first era, right? Especially the first couple of seasons, if I remember correctly. And I think there was one in season 3. But Series 4 and the specials, nobody knew that much. He'll control the flow of information and what goes out. Right? I think John Sim was leaked in Series 3. Right? Because I remember like it was yesterday. It was John Sim. And then, of course, Moffat did it then when he brought him back, because he literally put him in the trailer. And whoever edited that trailer was an idiot. Because, like, that would have been his return would have had a huge. Everybody was speculating, it's Sim, it's definitely Sim, but nobody knew for sure. And then they revealed it in the trailer, like, so they kind of screwed themselves there, didn't they? But he'll control the flow of information, right? Because, if you look, as I said, look at the YouTube, there's very little actually going out in the way of actual people that put information out that is coming through. As I said, it's kind of dead. This is the time where, as for every other season from Series 11 to 13, as you know, I'd be talking about the latest rumors and speculation and stuff, right? And other channels would be doing the same and throwing out, but they're not. What they're doing is they're getting all their rumors now from these other sites, these other platforms, because they don't have any sources. I wish people would listen to me. I mean, after the end of the current era, I told you it'd be very hard to get some information because now it's a different. There was a video that I was supposed to do actually, but Rote Lock is up for. They're looking for new tenants now because Doctor Who's completely gone. The studios are, I think they either said the studios are up for sale or something like that. But there was an article about it. So everything's moved over to Bad Wolf. He has a very tight ship. And if anybody watches any other shows that are produced from that, there's never been any major leaks put out. Only the information that RTD wants to throw out there. See, that's the thing. He'll throw out information. He'll give us stuff. He's not greedy like Chibnall, where he likes to keep everything to himself. Well, so he thought. But, you know, he was greedy with his information. That's why Doctor Who magazine was struggling. Because RTD would go on to Doctor Who magazine, do an interview and sing like a canary. Like in the aspects that he'd give you some information, but he wouldn't give everything away or major spoilers away, but he'd just give you enough to keep you interested. And then like you'd find out there'd be another interview in the next issue, and then you'd have to buy them. Very clever. Very clever. They'd put out and all that they'll feature something in the magazine, you have to buy blah blah blah, and everybody would buy it. Doctor Who magazine's about to make a shit ton of money. And as you have already seen, some of the staff has already left there to go on to better things. So there's obviously some sort of reshuffle going on behind the scenes there. That's what I mean. There you go. Now all the attention is back on that. I know, you literally told everybody that was going to be an hour and a half for the centenary. I have to sit here for an hour and a half now and watch this. So, which means to me, right, if it's an hour and a half, maybe people, those fans that want this timeless child nonsense wrapped up, it'll probably be wrapped up if it's an hour and a half, right? But either way, I'm just going to say it out straight. Either way, even if it isn't retconned, this is the new Doctor Bleeding Who coming, right? It's just going to ignore it. And if you don't take this series is not canon anyway. And I disagree with the people saying if it's not retconned, fans are not going to jump on board. I think it's already been proven with the reaction that Ncuti has got that argument has been dispelled. Fans are going to come back. I've even seen Doctor Who accounts reappear. Right? I've even seen YouTubers that haven't talked about Doctor Who in years are back now talking about this casting and talking about Doctor Who again. So I think, I'm sorry, but it's the people are not as skeptical as some out there. People are willing to move on and give RTD a chance. And now with this announcement, they're behind it. Now I will agree there is an issue. Can he actually get the wider public enthused? But the thing about it is he's done a lot of shows that have won a lot of awards. So I would say he obviously has a fan base. Right? And we don't know how big his fan base actually is. But if he's winning those awards, right, and being nominated for so many, he obviously has a lot of fans based in the UK anyway, right? And at the end of the day, and no disrespect to anybody over the other side of the pond, as they say, but right now the UK ratings are what RTD needs to concentrate on. Remember, Americans love British shows. That's why they buy so many to show them, right? He gets the ratings right in the UK, right? Doctor Who becomes popular in the UK again, right? And people are talking about and buzzing about it. Then it spreads across the pond and across beyond the world then. And that's what he's got to do. So you fix the ratings in the UK first. There's a buzz generated because the show has recaptured something that it hasn't over the last few years, right? And it starts being watched by everybody in the UK, Ireland, around this side of the pond, as they say, right? Then there's going to be that buzz. And then American fans will be like, oh, we want to see this. And word of mouth gets out there. And then people that have never watched Doctor Who might come across it and say, wow, this looks interesting. Just like the old days. It's I think it's an exciting time in the fandom. Listen, we could be all proven wrong. And those people, the small minority, could be right. Right? But I'm not willing to concede that right now. Because I've seen what RTD has done in the past with the show, and I am confident that he has made the decisions that he has made for the right reasons for the survival of the show. So I'm willing to give him a chance. Now, I know a couple of people said they were out of here yesterday in the chat. I didn't want to say anything, but this is the thing. If you're going to unsubscribe to the channel because I said I support RTD's choices, I would just say to you, don't be so hesitant, don't be so quick to do so. This is the problem in the fandom. Everybody is making decisions without even thinking about them. Right? Now, as I always do on this channel, if that small minority is right, and it has been made, the decisions have been made for a political reason, I will come out and I'll say I was wrong. And I will apologise to those people. But all I'm asking is that you be patient, wait and see what happens. Right? But if you still feel you have to unsubscribe, that's fine, fair enough. I will say it'll be sad to lose anybody on this channel. But if you don't like what I am actually saying, well then maybe it is proper that you unsubscribe. But I'm not going to change my mind until I see something different, or until I see something that backs up what this small minority has to say. But right now, there's no evidence to back those fans up. The only evidence that they have is the last 5 years, which is fair enough. That is a strong case. But we can't keep being suspicious about every single decision that's made for Doctor Who. Right? I do believe that RTD has made decisions based on his talent. And as I said, his CV shows it. He's won more BAFTAs than David Tennant, Matt Smith. I don't know about Peter Capaldi, but Jodie Whittaker combined. He's been nominated for a lot of others that he hasn't won either. But you're not going to win them all. But he's won a hell of a lot and been nominated for a hell of a lot. We've always said that we wanted a talented actor, someone that had a decent CV, and that's exactly what we've gotten. I mean, we wouldn't even be having this conversation, obviously, if the Doctor was white. And I'm going to just say it. We wouldn't actually be having this conversation. Everybody be praising it. and we wouldn't be even saying that. But because of the last 5 years, it has been politically motivated. And another thing as well that I see, BBC, BBC, BBC. I mean, I think people have Bad Wolf Productions has this show. It's a Bad Wolf production in conjunction with BBC Studios. Most of the money will come from the Bad Wolf side because obviously Sony has a stake in it. People need to just wait and see. Listen and watch what's going on, but as a fan, do not become a blind follower. The only thing is, as I said, that's what I mean. You got to wait, watch first, see what happens. You know, of course, I said it yesterday in my last live stream, right? It's a 4-hour one if you just want to go and check it out. But I have to say it was a very good live stream because of the guests. But I did say this. Obviously, you know, there's going to be a situation within the show that the doctor is obviously going to face some discrimination, right? Now, this is the thing. We know that RTD can write social issues and these kind of issues well, right? That's not the problem, right? And I will agree with people that say this. It cannot become the primary focus and of the show, right? At the end of the day, we're Doctor Who fans because it is a sci-fi show. We want space adventures, big epic battles, the Doctor, you know, saving humanity, all of that other stuff. It can't get bogged down in political themes. Yeah? Okay? Yeah, I understand that. But as I said, as we haven't seen anything that he has done with Doctor Who yet, we do know what RTD has done. So I'm going to give RTD the benefit of the doubt. And I'm going to wait and see what I see on screen before I make any judgment call. Obviously, people can have their opinions. And as I said, you're entitled to that opinion. But I would say to those naysayers, I've already seen it. You know, don't be ruining it for other people because, you know, you think this is politically motivated. If you have that opinion, that's fine. But you have no right to force that opinion on other people, which you seem to be doing. Right? As I said, just wait and see. As I said, if you're proven right, you're proven right. But I don't know why you'd want to be proven right when all we want is this show to go back to being entertaining and going back to being a sci-fi show. Right? The fandom doesn't need another 5 years of this bullshit. It's not going to survive. And I'm not saying that we should just people shouldn't be suspicious. Look, I'm not saying you can't be, but don't force that on other people. I'm not trying to force mine. I just believe that we should trust RTD, but I'm not telling you, listen, if you want to have the opinion that you have, that's fine. But this is what I believe. Right? Because of his past and because he's done it before in Doctor Who and he's always cast the right person, they've turned out to be the right person for the role. I trust RTD in his judgment here. Now, until I see something that suggests otherwise, then that's the opinion I have right now. So, we'll see. That's it. Yeah, look, of course, I did say again yesterday in my live stream. Yeah, to most of us, he's a relatively unknown, right? And it is a gamble. I think, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie there. I think it is. I think it is a gamble. Um, because I do believe, like a lot of others out there, that you needed a bigger name as such. Um, but you've got I've got to trust RTD here. Maybe I am putting too much faith in, but I don't. But that's how I'm feeling right now. I believe he has made the right decisions and will always make the right decisions concerning Doctor Who, because even when he's been talking with Doctor Who when he's been away from it, you can clearly see that he understands the show and what it's all about. And why would he all of a sudden change that ideology to come in to make a completely different version of Doctor Who that some of these people out there believe that it's going to be? Why would he change? And I know people bring up It's a Sin and all of this, but that's them shows. Listen to the way he talks about Doctor Who, right? It's the same with interviews that he's done, and he has said things that have upset people. But again, Seth MacFarlane, I'll just use an example. If you were to listen to everything he said, a lot of people that come out against some of these things that he talks about wouldn't watch the Orville, but they do, because they're able to separate what the man says in public to the way he writes the show. And I just believe that we should give the RTD the same treatment, because he's proven it before with Doctor Who. Anyway, as I said, people do have their concerns, and until any of us see anything, they're entitled to have those concerns and to be skeptical and to be suspicious. But at the same time, I have every right to be excited and believe that it's being done for the right reasons. Nobody's opinion is more valid than anybody else's, right? And we can't go through the same cycle that we've gone through for these last 5 years this time. There has to be an acceptance from both sides, or whatever side of the argument you're on, that everybody is entitled to their opinion. We can't have another 5 years of, and I've already seen the media try to stoke the fires, and they're an absolute disgrace, to be quite honest with you. But we should just ignore the media, just ignore all of these people that want to stoke the fire, and just wait and see what happens. As I said, either they're right, or there's a possibility, as I said, there's a possibility that it could be wrong. Not everything has to be politically motivated, and I think that's the way we're thinking now because of the last 5 years and what's happened in Hollywood in general. But RTD, to me, has already proved once that he understands the show. So I have no doubt that he'll do the same thing again. I don't know why he would change the way he's been thinking about the Doctor, even when he hasn't been on the show, to change it all of a sudden. And if he did, I'll just say this, it'll be, I don't think he understands. I will say this, if he was to do what people say he's going to do, well, I don't think he understands the feeling and the mood of the fandom and of the general public. And if he was to go down any political route and make it all political, well then he's going to be in a spot of bother. He's going to be in a spot of bother. But as we don't know, I'm willing to wait and see, because he's already proven once before that he makes decisions based on talent and who he thinks will play the best doctor. As I said, Matt Smith went in last in his audition, and Moffat had already kind of had an idea who he wanted as the doctor, and then Matt Smith blew him away. RTD has said the same thing. He says he'd already got his doctor in mind, and then Ncuti goes in, does his thing, and now he's the doctor. So we'll see what happens. Next will be, obviously, hopefully we'll get to find out who the companion is. It's probably one of those actresses that's names have been linked with the role of the doctor, which would make me laugh in kind of a way, because I know it would upset. It would actually upset the other side, because they were, some of them were banking on another female doctor to try validate the one that we have now. But it would be funny if one of the actresses that they've picked to play the doctor ends up being the companion. But again, we have to wait and see. Some out there have suggested that it'll be a male companion. You'll just have to wait and see, won't you? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. So no point jumping the gun until we know a little bit more of what's going on. It's just as simple as that. So yeah, I tell you, look, the next few days and weeks is going to be very interesting. Obviously, there's an initial reaction, and then when the dust settles, then we'll find out how everybody is feeling. But I have to be honest with you, and I know social media isn't everything, but compared to the last 5 years, Doctor Who has been trending quite a lot since the announcement. And I haven't seen it like that in a good while. So to me, that's another good sign right there. So I don't know. It's an interesting one. Because this feels different. It doesn't feel as negative. But we'll just have to wait. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Until we see what he brings to the table. But with the CV that he has, it's pretty impressive with the amount of awards he's won. And they're not Mickey Mouse awards. They're decent awards. So we'll just have to wait and see. That's all I can really say on that. But as I said, RTD has been putting out some red herrings, as he always does. As we spoke about on this channel, I told you, man. And we had this conversation literally last week as well on the channel, if I remember correctly, or a couple of weeks ago. I'm not quite sure when we had that conversation, but it was very interesting that we brought it back up again. And then it literally comes out in an article. Funny that. Hello, whoever's writing for the Radio Times and watching me videos. I'm only joking. Does anybody want K9 to come back? No, as I say, I want to see something new now. I don't want a repeat of the first RTD era. But I'll get into that. Look, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll over I'll see when I can get it done. But over the next couple of weeks, I will get a video done of what I would like to see in RTD2 and what I don't want to see in RTD2. I think it'll be a good idea. I've already seen a video by someone out there, Wingy Media, the things that he hopes and the things that he doesn't hope for the RTD. So I'll do it in one video. I'll tell you what I hope to see and what I don't want to see and stuff like that. Because I kind of don't want to repeat of his last era. So I want a companion from the future or from the past. Yeah, we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see who he picks. Be interesting now. It'll be very interesting. But that's what we've got to look forward to. It's the identity politics that I'm afraid of RT will bring to this. I wish this stuff was gone from our entertainment. Yeah, well, I've already seen the media kind of jump on that side of it. And again, some of the Jodie Whittaker fans have jumped on that as well. Unfortunately, that's a part of the fandom right now and a part of some quarters of the media right now that we'll just have to accept that are there, but we don't have to listen to them. They will drive that this is a political decision as well, and stuff, but it'll be, we can't get in, as I said, we can't get into this cycle again. We just have to wait and see. But knowing how RTD writes, look, it's going to be brought up in an episode anyway, right? If people think it's not going to be brought up, let's be realistic here. It's going to be brought up. But if it becomes a recurring theme throughout his era, right, well, then it obviously people are going to have a problem with that. It's a sci-fi show. It's supposed to entertain. We can't get bogged down in politics again. It's about an alien from outer space who stole a box, a madman in a box, and goes on adventures. That's what the primary focus should be on. But yeah, obviously, look, I do have me worries. It could go that way. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to focus on the negative here because RTD has already proven that he can handle these things very well. It will be brought up in the show, but I don't want to be brought up every bleeding episode every week. Once you don't need to have it every week and every so often. You could deal with it there and then, and then that's it. It's supposed to be a sci-fi show anyway. Anyway, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. That's all I'm just going to keep saying. And that's all I can keep saying is we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Nobody knows what the future holds right now, right? But I am pretty excited to see where this goes. I would be disappointed, I have to say, if it becomes another political thing. Because, you've got a talented actor there, and you shouldn't use that person like the way I believed Chibnall used Whittaker, right? I think it'd be very, very disrespectful. Just like I said, it was disrespectful for Jodie to be used, but of course she didn't help herself with her interviews and stuff. She just added on because she knew she was being used. And if it's true about the other actress that turned it down, it was basically because she didn't want to become the first token female doctor. That tells you everything. that you need to know, right? But RTD is always cast for the right reasons. That's why I don't have any issue right now. Until he proves otherwise, then I've not, as I said, I've no issue. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there because we'll end up talking in circles about this. I'm not gonna bring this up again. I don't care if some parts of the media out there, as I said, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but just wait and see. And as I said, don't ruin it for people that are actually enjoying it. Right now, if you have the opinions that you have, that's fine, fair enough. You can get them off your chest, but you don't have to keep, you know, lumping us with a hammer and telling us that we're wrong and it's going to be this, that, and the other. You don't know, just like we don't know. We just have a little bit more faith because obviously RTD has done it before and the show's been successful under him. And a lot of people have enjoyed his writing. Now, if all of a sudden people come out and say that they don't enjoy his writing, well, then you know it's all bullshit then that's coming out of their mouth. A lot of people have said they've enjoyed his writing. You can't all of a sudden turn around and say you don't enjoy his writing now because he's back, because he cast a certain actor for the role. You've got to wait and see what happens. Simple as that. And that's all I'm just going to keep saying. Just wait and see what happens. Right? Anyway, it's an exciting time in the fandom. Roll on the next few announcements, whatever there is. And yeah, but a centenary, an hour and a half. Jesus Christ, man. Oh, we're all going to need therapy after it. But anyway, the announcement of the 14th Doctor means we're getting closer and closer to RTD2. And that is, for me, something to be excited about. And yeah, come and follow us on this journey. Let's see what happens. Hopefully RTD doesn't let us down. His writing is as sharp as ever, which I do believe it is. Let's hope he can show us why he was given the role. I do believe that we've got a talented actor there. Let's hope that it's a lot of responsibility for this actor and a lot of responsibility for RTD too. But I'm willing to give him that chance to show us. And I said I'd watch his first season either way. When RTD was announced, I said it doesn't matter who he casts as the Doctor. I'm on board anyway, and that hasn't changed. So I'm on board. Let's bring on RTD too, and let's hope we get Doctor Who back to entertaining the fans, the British public, and the wider audience. And then we can put all of this behind us and just move on and enjoy Doctor Who and forget about the last few years. And let's enjoy it again. That's all I want to do, is enjoy Doctor Who again. And hopefully we will get to do that, folks. But I see the legend has popped in. I'm about to finish, legend. I'm about to finish. I don't know if anybody got the notification for this stream. It seemed I'm only had to get it a few minutes ago. So some of you might have got the notification a bit late. So if that's the case, if you have the YouTube app on any device, you can go into your app settings there and you can change the settings on the app itself to get all notifications. Make sure you're still subscribed as well. If you haven't subscribed, you've been watching the channel for a few days, but you haven't decided whether you want to subscribe or not, please do. It'd be nice to see. It's been nice to see some new faces in the chat as well, and some old faces in the chat as well. So thank you all for popping in. It's an interesting time in this fandom, and I have to say, it has been mostly positive, and I'm glad. I am glad, because we really do need this. I hope RTD understands. We really do need this. We really do need decent Doctor Who. So I'll just say personal message to RTD. Please do not let us down. We just want Doctor Who to entertain, to be that sci-fi show that it was under you and even under Moffat when he was writing well. We just want decent Doctor Who. That's all we've ever wanted. You've made your choice now. Let's see your writing and win those fans over. That's what I say. Win those fans over and win that public over. And if you can do that, I think these little worries that fans have right now will disappear. It'll disappear. And there'll be an acceptance that RTD has made the decisions for the right reasons. That's what I hope happens. Obviously, if it goes the other way, I'm just going to stop talking about Doctor Who. Well, this Doctor Who. Because I'm not getting bogged down in another 5 years of arguing that Doctor Who should be written a certain way and this, that, and the other. Right? It'll be the same arguments repeated, and I'm not willing to do that. I'd rather just walk away. And I think that's what other fans should do as well if it doesn't go the way that you want it to go. You know, instead of hanging around and complaining about it and doing videos about it even though you're not watching it. You know, I think it's just we just should all just go away. You know? But I will say this before I do leave. Just remember all of those Whittaker fans that said that now very openly said that they were going to leave the fandom if the next Doctor was male. I wonder what their position is now. I wonder what their position is now. I say a lot of those fans that said they were going to leave will be hanging around for a long time now. Because they're going to politicize this, just like the media is doing it. And as, you know, as some have said in the chat, as I said, it is a valid argument, but because we haven't seen that yet, right, it's valid for now, just like our opinions are valid for now. But we'll find out when he shows us what he's got for Series 14. Warped Eyebrow 2 with a £5 super chat says, a bit late to the live, but did you bring up the woke and representation interview stuff? You mean the BAFTA interview that he did with RTD there? Listen, as I said at the start of the stream, yes, I have seen that video because a lot of people have made sure to send it to me, right? Because they want me to know whatever they want me to know. Does that make a difference to me when I'm judging what RTD could do? No, because he's already proven before. Listen, of course they have their own political beliefs, right? And just because Ncuti brought up that he happens to be a gay man, that doesn't automatically mean that the Doctor is going to be gay, as I've seen. Nobody has any proof of that whatsoever. Right? So again, it's a lot of people blown a casket before they even see what he's put down on paper. Right? And I know he said something about the RTD said something about the Tory party, don't vote Tory or whatever it was. He said, yeah, right. As I said, if we listen to everything that Seth MacFarlane said, A lot of people wouldn't be watching the Orville, but they can separate what he said in public to the way he writes the show. I think people are just looking right now for any reason to hate what's happened yesterday. And some have very valid and strong reasons because of the last few years. I'm not denying that. But because we haven't seen anything, we've only got the announcement and we haven't seen anything actually on film. We haven't seen that on screen yet. We haven't seen his costume. We haven't seen the TARDIS. We haven't seen him act in Doctor Who. But if you go based on his CV and based on the awards that he's won, the one thing that I have heard throughout this fandom for the last 5 years has been, can we not get someone in that's talented? Now, you've got an actor who has more BAFTAs than David Tennant, Matt Smith, and Jodie Whittaker combined. Right? So his CV is not in question. His acting ability is not in question here. Right? There does seem to be an issue, which I'm not going to hide from the fact, but there seems to be an issue in some quarters of this fandom. His skin color. Because they believe that it's being made for a political reason. Or to tick a box, as they've said. Now, while I will say we were all right about the Jodie Whittaker era, but we were right because early indications, and as soon as she did her first interview, we knew which route it was going to go down. Right? But I've read his statement, and his statement to me shows that a man is excited to play the Doctor and understands the responsibility. Right? And RTD has given no indication that he's going to go down the political route with Doctor Who when you look at his first era, yes, it was progressive. Yes, he did tackle social issues. But look at the way he did it. Writing came first. It was still entertaining, right? We got our sci-fi. Yeah? We didn't get that with Chibnall, though, did we? No, we got a kind of soap opera drama and then turned into a rom-com kind of thing with a little bit of sci-fi sprinkled in. Right? And then hammering the audience across the head. Right? Oh, climate change is bad. Oh, look, single father, you're bad. Oh, single mothers, you're just as bad too. Right? But there's no indication that RTD will do that. And how do we know? Well, the proof is in the pudding. Look at his first era. Look at his interviews that he's done since he's left the show. He's done quite a lot, by the way. Listen to the way he talks about the Doctor and Doctor Who. I do not believe for 1 second that he will turn Doctor Who into a propaganda machine. He's a Doctor Who fan. He has a lot more respect for Doctor Who than Chris Chibnall ever did. That's why I'm so confident that I believe he's made the decisions based on what's best for Doctor Who. And that's why I am giving RTD a chance. And I was giving him a chance anyway. Right? But now that Ncuti's on board, I'm going to give it even more of a chance because I do think that this is an inspired piece of recruitment. You look at his CV, it's impressive. The awards he's won, it's impressive. We wanted a talented actor, we got one. He's wanted a male doctor, he's got one. Right? I remember having arguments with people in my chat. Well, if the doctor's not male, I'm not... Right? I kept telling everybody, he's not going to cast a woman. He's not going to cast a woman because it's not in his DNA to cast a woman. He's referred to the Doctor as a man for all of these years, even since he's left the show. And what has he done? He's cast a man. Anyway, I could sit here having a rant at everybody about it, but that's just how I feel right now. I mean, people are trying to sour me excitement, right? And sour other fans' excitement out there. I think it's bang out of order, to be quite honest with you. The difference with the Jodie Whittaker situation is that we were attacked straight away, right? Media attacked us and then fans attacked us because we came out with an opinion, right? Now it feels like we're getting the same treatment, except we haven't attacked first. It's kind of funny. You know, I didn't back a female doctor. I got criticised for it. I'm backing this doctor, even though I said I was backing RTD no matter what he did. And I'm getting some flack for it. And other fans are getting some flack for it. I mean, are we going to do this shit all over again? Another 5 years? Come on. If you're right, you're right. Well done. But why would you want to be right? You all claim to love Doctor Who. Don't we want Doctor Who to succeed? We've got to believe that he made... Look, I could be wrong. I could be fucking going on faith and the past, right? Could be. But until I see something different, I'm going to feel that way. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel the way you feel if you're a little bit skeptical, but be skeptical, but don't try. As I said, I've seen people throw posts even on Twitter. Well, I've thrown up posts on Twitter, and then you get some fucking idiot that just can't help themselves comes in. Oh, it's gonna be woke bullshit. The doctor's going to be gay and all of this and blah 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 blah. How do you know? Jesus Christ, nobody knows yet. Wait and see what happens first. Anyway, you know, exciting times ahead. Do you know why people are thinking that the doctor might be gay? Because RTD came out when all of this was... Do you remember when the debate was coming out that if you're a gay character, you should be played by a gay actor, right? He supported that. He came out and said that for It's a Sin, he cast all LGBTQ plus characters, right? And because Ncuti happens to be a gay man, people have jumped the gun or are assuming that the doctor is going to be gay, right? It's absolute bullshit. You don't know what you're talking about, right? He's never brought his own personal politics into Doctor Who. When he has done Doctor Who, and he does bring politics into it, which he has done, because Doctor Who under RTD was very progressive if you go back and watch it, right? But the story always was their focus. He didn't draw attention away from the story. I think people have to wait and see what he does first. But anyway, and as TARDIS, I don't think Russell would allow it. I thought, listen, this is the thing. It doesn't matter what he said. People are just jumping, want to find something negative to say. And I can understand it. I can. But can you just hold your horses and just wait and see what happens? If yous are going to start pushing this narrative like the media, yous aren't doing this fandom any good. Yous are gonna fracture this fandom again. It's fractured enough. Can we not just wait and see? Let the fandom right now feel the way they want to feel right now without anybody throwing throwing feckin' fuel onto the fire, right? Let's just wait and see. The fandom doesn't need this crap again. It doesn't need fans turning on each other because they believe one thing or the other. We just all have to wait and see, for God's sake. The fandom is already on its last legs. Does the fandom not deserve a break from all of this bullshit and just wait and see what happens? Either way, if they get it wrong, the fandom is done. Right? And the show is done. If they get it right, well then the show is saved, and then maybe this fandom can heal. Obviously, there's been a lot of things said and done over the last 5 years, and there'll be a lot of it that will be hard to be forgiven. Right? But as I said a few weeks ago on Twitter, I forgive all of that stuff that was done against me and the wife. It's time to move on. I can't hold a grudge anymore. I'm too old for this shit. It just needs to stop. We just have to wait and see what happens. And as RTD blew me away in 2005 and gave me a Doctor Who that I fell in love with, right? I'll always love the classic. Classic was always my era and always will be. But I loved New Who. I loved what he brought to the table. I loved some of the stuff that Stephen Moffat brought to the table. I didn't enjoy his run as much as I enjoyed the RTD run, but I loved it. And based on that, that's why I trust RTD, based on what he gave us in the past. Was he perfect? No. He wasn't perfect as a showrunner, but he understood the Doctor, and he understood what fans wanted. And I don't think he's changed in that regard. I just hope, for the sake of this fandom, that RTD and Ncuti hit the ground running and put this conversation to bed. Because we can't get bogged down in all of this again. I'm not. And if people wanna unsub because I won't criticize this era that we haven't even seen yet, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that until I see evidence that proves otherwise. But I trust RTD, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If I just, because of everything I've heard from his mouth, and the past proves it. He understands this show. And I'm pretty sure he understands how this fandom and the British public have felt over the last few years. I don't believe he'd come in and repeat what Chibnall did. I don't. There's no need to go down a political route anyway. And as I said, it will be addressed in the show at one time or another. But you know, there's a way around that as well. You could have a lot of the episodes in the future anyway. You don't always have to go back through time and do a historical. Anyway, we'll see what he does, and that's all we can do is just wait and see. But I'm excited about the future. Um and I hope now he can just prove me right, because you know I've put me eggs all in one basket, and I'm willing to do that. When it comes to Doctor Who, I wear my heart on my sleeve, as you know, and I'll always be honest with you. But I am excited. I do believe he has good intentions when it comes to Doctor Who. And I'm going to enjoy this until he proves me. He either proves it right or he proves it wrong. But I'm giving him a chance. Anyway, I'll leave it there because there's not more really to be said. Obviously, if there's any more stuff said, and remember, we've only got a statement off Ncuti right now, so there will be an interview at some stage. I don't think they'll wait that long to actually do an interview with him. It'd actually be criminal if they did. But I'm pretty sure there'll be an interview at some stage. So can't wait for that, because then we'll get another kind of idea of the guy himself. And interviews are a good indicator, because we've seen it in the past. So, as I said, there's still plenty to analyze here and to talk about until now and the centenary, and then till the centenary to the 60th. So there's a lot to discuss. We will be here all the way up until, obviously the very first episode airs. We will obviously be here. We'll obviously get a trailer as well, the closer we get. That'll be the thing that I'm gonna be most excited about. Yes, while I'm excited about what kind of costume he's gonna wear, what his TARDIS is gonna look like, the exterior and interior. But for me, RTD's first trailer with Eccleston and those little teasers that he done. I mean, I don't think, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that trailer can be beaten. That first trailer that he gave us, that was just brilliant. That trailer. So I'm looking forward to seeing the trailer and the little teasers, because we'll get obviously companion. We'll probably see who the companion is as well then. So there's plenty of more still to come. It doesn't matter not watching RIP Doctor Who, hashtag diversity hire. As I said, you could feel like that, but you've got absolutely no evidence to back you up. The only reason why you feel like that is because of the last 5 years, because obviously we do know that Jodie Whittaker was hired because of politics. But RTD has a past with the show, and the past shows that he casts the best actor for the role. So, as I said, you could feel like that, hopefully he can change your mind. Daniel says, in contrast to Whittaker, he came across well, I think. Says, I do agree. I do agree. Again, I'm not saying that nobody should feel the way they feel, right? But as you don't know what he's going to do with it yet, and as it's a Bad Wolf production, I would say wait and see before you make a judgment. That's all I'm saying. Just wait and see. If you're proven right, you're proven right. There could be a possibility, as I said, that those people that are skeptical could be wrong. It's not unheard of for people to be wrong. People are not always right. I think that's the kind of society that we live in now, where everybody thinks that they're right. They give their opinion and they think their opinion is the right opinion. Right? The social media age is giving people a self-entitlement. And we all do it. We all do it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say I've been innocent and think my opinion has more validation than others in certain topics that I've discussed. But we can't be thinking like that because it's wrong. Everybody's entitled to opinion, but the thing about it is we live in an age where everybody thinks that their opinion is the right one. All I'm just saying is wait and see what happens. It's what I've been saying this whole stream, is what I said yesterday's stream. Just wait and see what happens. If you do feel like that right now, that's fine, fair enough. You're entitled to that because the last 5 years has been highly politicized, and I agree. I understand where you are coming from. Right? I'm not going to argue with you on that. I understand. I sincerely do. But all I'm asking you to do is, before we jump the gun, can we not just wait and see what he does first? And if you are proven right, you are proven right. But for once, can we not go at this with a different angle and just like wait and see what happens? That's all I'm asking. I'm not telling you to change your opinion. Just let's wait and see what happens, because he could prove you's all wrong. And this guy could be the best thing to happen Doctor Who since sliced bread, right? And he acted out of his skin, and with RTD's writing, we get something actually amazing. Isn't that all we want at the end of the day, though? We all want Doctor Who to be great again, don't we? So let's see what happens. That's it. That's all I'm asking. Glenn, just all I would say is, look, I not understand where you're coming from. Really do, right? And I do think it's a gamble to go with someone that I don't know him either, right? But we've got to trust RTD. He got it right his first time. Let's see. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, walked eyebrow too with another super chat. £2 says, I'm excited for the new title sequence plus good costume. Yeah, again, we've got all of that to look forward to. But right, that's all superficial stuff, right? Glenn and others like him, the proof in the pudding will be the writing, right? But that's all I'm saying. Let's wait until we do see what the writing is like, and let's not come to hasty conclusions. I'm giving RTD the benefit of the doubt because of what he did with Doctor Who when he brought the show back. And to me, I think he deserves a chance because of that. Right? And I was going to support him. I even said, I've been saying it for months, I was going to support him no matter who he cast. And we even had the conversation up to 2 weeks ago and even some in the chat agreed, that if he cast a woman, they know he'd do it better and you are willing to give it a chance. See, the fandom, I don't think the fandom is. I think the fandom over the last 5 years has gone through a change, but I don't think there's the majority of fans, and it has been widely praised, the casting. As I said, there are always going to be people out there that are suspicious, hesitant, and will believe that this is being done for political reasons because of the last 5 years. Nobody's denying that. But the problem is that nobody knows what he's going to do yet. But if you base it on what he's done with his first era, I think there's plenty of evidence to suggest that he will do Doctor Who the right way and he understands it. So I don't know why he would suddenly change from what he did, what worked the first time round, and then completely change that mantra and go down a political route with the show. Considering we've had that for the last 5 years and the ratings have completely nosedived. I don't think he'd be that stupid. Anyway, like Daniel, I'm buzzing and I'm going to buzz off right now. Warped Eyebrow too, thank you for the super chats. I really do appreciate it. And especially over the last couple of days, thank you to everybody that has contributed in the channel, whether it's a super chat or leaving a chat in the comment section there and the live chat. Thank you very much. And thanks to everybody that likes the streams as well. Buzzing about yesterday's stream because we hit the stream has been watched by over 1,000 people already. That one is flying. That's the panel that was on yesterday. A 4-hour live stream, believe it or not, but it was very good. We got a lot of opinions in there, and you know, as I said yesterday, stream. It looked like that there was a lot of excitement, but there was cautious optimism as well. Listen, I'm under no illusions. You know what I mean? That this could go the way people are saying, but I refuse to focus on that, and I just want to focus on the positives. And the positive is that the Doctor is a bloke again. And that's what I've wanted for the last 5 years, the Doctor to be male again. But, you know, as I said, we'll just have to wait and see what happens with the rest of the decisions. And then roll on that trailer. Roll on the trailer. Roll on his first episode. I can't wait, man. Can't wait. Yesterday's announcement made the RTD era or RTD's return feel real. It's actually happening now. And for me personally, and a couple of others out there, it's a really exciting time. As I said to you, you know, RTD to me, you know, when he brought the show back, as I said, I was going through a difficult time, and if you've watched me streams, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if it wasn't for that man bringing Doctor Who back, I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to you today. That's how much of an impact the announcement of his return had. And I knew Doctor Who was coming back. It was something to live for again, believe it or not. No, that sounds a bit dramatic, but that's how I was feeling in the time of my life. So, you know, as I said, when the announcement was made, he was returning. He'd got me support from day one. And that hasn't changed, and it's not going to change. He deserves a chance to prove to everybody that he can make this show a success again. To me. To others, it might be too late because of what Chibs has done. And as I said, I totally understand that. But this is how I feel about it. And I just wish that people would just let the fans enjoy it that don't. And I'd say to those fans that right now are still skeptical and you know, let's just wait and see. We can all just wait and see what happens. And then if it goes one way, fair enough. But if RTD writes a show that you could be proud of again, I just hope he can convince you to come back to the show. Because, you know, Doctor Who's been through a rough few years. And not just under the Jody era, it had its problems under the Moffat era as well. Let's not forget that. But it deserves a chance to redeem itself. And RTD deserves a chance to redeem it, in my opinion. So I will wait and see what happens. Anyway, I'm going to go. Thank you for tuning in. And as I said, I want to thank everybody for the support. Thanks to me mods for keeping the chat safe for everybody as well. And to everybody that, as I said, contributes. It doesn't matter how you do. I want to thank you all for the support. And we will be here and covering whatever comes out. What I might do is tomorrow, there'll probably be a good few articles tomorrow. There's probably some being dropped now. There was one before I came on live. What I'll do is I will address them tomorrow. We'll do a stream on those articles and we'll have further discussion. But as I said, I'm still buzzing, still excited, and let's see what happens is all I have to say. But thank you for popping in, folks. I know I've been streaming all over the place. But oh yeah, as well, I just want to actually say something because I was actually rather surprised. But our Evil of the Daleks stream has nearly hit 300 views. Just me talking about Evil and watching it. So I want to thank everybody that has watched that live stream. As I said, normally when I get the animations, I kind of like to do a stream myself on it. And then obviously we will be covering Patrick Troughton when Classic Who Zone returns. And we will be doing that story again with the panel. But I do like to do the animations on my own at first. But yeah, I was very surprised the amount of people that tuned in to hear me waffle about Evil. But it was actually a very enjoyable stream. Everybody in the chat that joined in as well, we were having a bit of a buzz as well. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Right, I'm gonna feck off, and as I said, I'll see you during the week. I'll be back tomorrow. As I said, back to normal again. It's become a bit of a full-time thing, this, but I'm enjoying it right now. We're on a bit of a roll as well, but I am enjoying it. And hello to me lovely co-host. So our Queen Charlotte has popped in. Hello, Queen. Nice to see you. We got the legend PD, Rich Enigmatic Joker, as well as there. We got the usual suspects and a few new faces as well. Nice to see you as well, guys. And as I said, if you still haven't subscribed, please do. Please do. So yeah, we'll leave it there. So have a good one, folks. I'll see you soon. And yeah, until tomorrow. Bye.